Coaches Connection, connecting you and the greater DMV to local sports programs, as well as the coaches that inspire our local youth.
Welcome to another edition of Coach Connection. I'm Ferrari Tate, your host, and today I'm honored to introduce you to a phenomenal young man who's also a coach.
That's right.
Can you tell everybody who you are and the team that you coach, the name of it?
Sure. So I'm Kelly Sykes. I'm a director of tennis over at JTCC, and I work with kids, 3 years old to 18, and even adults. But my job mainly is to be a mentor and a teacher to help them transition with life skills.
All right, life skills. Now, you started as a player.
I did, and I think, as I got older, transitioned to much of a pay it forward, give it back kind of mentality. But my biggest thing as a player was to learn, gain knowledge, come back and be smarter at the game. And a military brat, so I had a chance to kind of experience tennis a little bit here and there.
All right, is it a big difference?
It is. I think there can be consistency and growth in that way.
Okay.
And then there can be inconsistency to different opportunities, programs, and there's a lot of knowledge and appreciation for when you do have those moments.
Now, tennis is a popular topic right now because of the Serena story, etc., right? But let's talk about your story. Is there a coach that inspired you to not only give back, but to be a better person, not just a better player?
So, as the term coach, I think is anybody who can give back with knowledge and can teach and inspire and motivate. So, I think my coach was both my dad, my grandfather who introduced me to the sport, and then the in and out tidbits from the different coaches that I got to.
Oh, it started at home. You heard that, right? It started at home.
Yeah.
All right. So granddad, did you ever get to a point to see your dad and your granddad play?
No, they actually never played. So my whole thing is that my entire family was a military dedicated family.
Okay.
And I was the one that traveled a different route, and tennis was my outlet for that, for sure.
All right.
Only person. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Only person in my family who was able to take the sports route.
Okay.
And keep the sports route.
Got it. So you are going to be able to see footage of him teaching, but also some of the students that he's been training. Let's dive into that. Tell us the area. Tell us about your camp. Tell us about what you do and where you do it.
Sure. So JTCC is the place that I work, and it's over in College Park, Maryland. Okay. The biggest thing that we impact is both juniors and adults. So juniors considered anybody from a child to 18, and then that transition into college, as well as adults. But we also have an integrated wheelchair tennis and adaptive tennis. So we're doing a format which we call tennis for everybody.
Tennis for everybody.
Yes, and this
Why?
Because everybody that has an opportunity to play should play, and coaches should be adaptive and diverse to be able to coach all of that. Got it. So just because somebody may be lacking in certain areas of their physique or mental, or just personality, we can give back to them and still be able to put a racket in their hand.
I always go back to you, Coach, first. What did the coaches do? Is there some life lesson or that you got that you are now teaching others the same principle?
Mentorship. Okay. So I think sometimes the word coach can come to one person giving all, and then the other person receiving all. So this idea where it's reciprocal, where both get a chance to have a say, builds me as a learner, but also me as a coach to understand the players.
Got it. Now, before we started, I talked about my young son learning soccer, right? It was new to me because I didn't grow up playing soccer. Yeah. But there are parents out there who didn't grow up playing tennis.
That's true.
So how do we bring that child and that parent together to understand the benefits of playing this game?
If you can introduce the sport, you can introduce the communication. And so I've noticed that when we are giving people that individual opportunity, we got to let the parents know and be inside. So communication would be the number one reason. And we have a program actually in our JTCC called Tennis Whiz, which is a parent-player adaptive course. Okay. The kids are, this tall, and the parents are trying to be their coach, feeding them balls, telling them encouraging words. and then the coach brings them on a story or an adventure that lets them walk away feeling like they got to go with their parents and learn, they got to go with the coach and learn as well.
I don't know about you, but I want to learn more about this unique opportunity. How can we reach you for those parents who want to kind of connect and really get their children there? How does that happen?
Well, we have a lot of media outlets. We are definitely trying to partner with local communities. We have an outreach program that focuses with the elementary schools, so we are reaching locally. Our social media on Instagram and
tell us how
Instagram and Twitter and Facebook are allowing us to reach the community that we have internationally as well as nationally.
So what is the hashtag or the direct? Is there a telephone number or email also too?
The Instagram is at the JTCC.
Okay.
John, is it for both? You got to. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
All
right.
But
cool. Well, you will get it in a minute.
Yeah, sure.
I get teamwork.
That's
now let's take a young person. What is the outcome? You got this young person as early as how old?
As early as 3 years old, but we have people who come from different times of their ages.
Okay, so walk us through that pathway. When a person finally leaves, graduating from high school or whatever the case may be, what's the next path? Give us that journey.
Sure. And even the journey starts well before that.
Okay.
So our mission as coaches over there is definitely to give them that choice, to give them that goal, and how to proceed forward. So if they're looking for college, we mentor them so when they graduate, they're already ready to go to college.
Ready to go? Okay.
Yes. If they want to try to do something on the tour or more, of a professional route, then they're playing internationally when they're in their 15 to 18-year-old time frame.
Okay, y'all serious?
Yeah, we have that, but even the ones that want to make their high school team and keep it simple, we allow that opportunity where, we just want to make their local team first.
Yeah.
We do goals and we give them opportunities within their junior years.
Yeah.
So they know what they want to do by the time they graduate.
Oh. And that community really produced success.
Yeah.
Can you give us an example of one of your success stories?
Sure. So we've had two success stories that have been able to start young.
Okay.
Community outreach programs and have made a professional career change and have joined the pro tour on the women's side and the men's side, which is great.
Yeah.
So we have Francis Tiafo, who has joined the men's side, who started when he was very young. A huge whole family story of him. And then Robin Montgomery, who started through our outreach program, scholarship and all.
Now, if you stay tuned, you're going to see a quick clip of those two individuals. But we want you to know that there is an opportunity for you and your child, but also an opportunity for you to literally volunteer or write a check to get connected. Can you tell us how can people really support this? Because you're changing lives. You talked about the life skills on top of the athletic skills that these young persons are getting. How can an individual put their children connected first, and then if they want to volunteer or write a check to continue to support the great work that you do?
Sure. JTCC is a nonprofit. We are 501c3, and donations are always helping build the scholarships and the opportunities for the players' needs and wants. A lot of our community may not have the location chance to be able to go to our site, so we provide transportation and opportunities there, as well as us having the funds to go to their sites and meet them where they're at. So the donations help us travel and impact more. So if we can just copy paste what we're doing, even more so, that's where the help helps us best.
Got it. So when you're watching this show, we want you to share this show with other individuals also too. Our young persons are facing so many obstacles now. I mean, COVID is real, but on top of COVID, lack of access to some of these opportunities in their school, it just doesn't exist anymore. So can you give us a little bit more deep insight on the impact that this coaching is having on the lives of our young persons, our children?
Sure. So there are a couple personal stories with clients of mine and personal players where they were going through not really going to school, and there's this, depression side to that, and the kids not getting the real social context that we've all had in normalcy. And so what it does is it gives them more time on the court, more time to be with people connected. And then I think, like I said earlier about the goals, it helps us formulate those opportunities.
Yeah.
Just because we want to give them an opportunity to get out of the house or to find social construct again, we want to organize them as a person. So if I can impact them by bringing them here, that's good. But if I can get them more times a week, they can start to develop, we can start to teach, we can start to get more out of them than just helping.
Coach Connection wants to connect you to our coaches because they are impacting our young persons in so many ways. You just heard it. Depression is real, and a lot of young persons are also dealing with anger issues and things. And we're seeing the young people transition their emotional, they're transitioning their future by learning how to perfectly channel that into an being athletic, you know, and to challenge, and to, you also challenge these young persons to find themselves, but you also challenge them to be their authentic, on purpose, like live life now. Yeah. Can you give us a little insight of some of the principles that you are coaching into these young persons? Because a lot of times we think about, they're learning how to swing or shoot, but they're also learning life skills. Can you talk about that?
I would say the first one is having a core belief in something. Another way we say it is trust your training and trust yourself. I've said mentorship throughout, and I feel like goal orientation is always good. And goals don't have to be towards something super specific, but we got to let these kids dream. We got to let these adults dream and have those goals and dreams interline and intertwine. I think, trust your training is the biggest. We have it kind of on our banners around. Trust your training. Trust your training. Yeah, it's actually on the back of my shirt too.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. And young people need to get that. We do not want to fool people in thinking that excellence just happens.
That's right.
It's a process, and it does happen easier when you're not trying to do it yourself.
That's correct.
And so here's an organization that you can be a part of by, one, putting your children in a structured environment where people care and give them the guidance they need to be successful, but as a volunteer or mentor or an individual who might have the means to write a check. Every week, we're going to connect you to amazing programs and amazing people, men and women, making a difference in our children's lives. Coach Connection, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come all the way out here, and tell everybody one more time who you are and how we can reach you.
Sure. So my name is Kelly Sykes, and I'm one of the directors over at JTCC, which is located in College Park, Maryland. And you can find us on social media outlets, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at the JTCC.
Fantastic, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
Coaches Connection, connecting you and the greater DMV to local sports programs, as well as the coaches that inspire our local youth. This show has been brought to you by the Scholar Athlete Sports Network, SASN.TV.